Hello and welcome to today's episode of Community Connections, airing right here on OROMIA11. I am your host, Anna Orr, and today we are talking about a new initiative launching through Sabathani Community Center. It is the Violence Interruption Program, and this is a new initiative launched in partnership through the City of Minneapolis. We are talking about police reform, we're talking about extending the scope of community support, and we're going to have a little bit of information you may not expect about what these people actually do out in your community. This is going to be a wonderful episode you won't want to miss. Nigel Sharper, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Community Connections. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Now, we are here talking about the work of Sabathani Community Center. And for people that are not familiar, Sabathani has been doing some really great work in the community for the last 6 decades. And we actively here at OROMIA11 are trying to keep the community updated on initiatives that exist and resources here that they can be a part of. And you are here as the Director of Community Intervention for Sabathani. This is an exciting initiative. Can you kind of talk to us, for people that are not familiar, about what led to the work of the Violence Interruption Program?
So really, this work has been going on for many years, but when it was 2020, when George Floyd was murdered, there was a uprising, and so a lot of those communities who were doing this work, were just people in the community, and they was doing it for free. And the city kind of caught on and was like, this makes sense. We should, work with the individuals in these communities and pay them for their work. And so that's stuck. And now it's a partnership between Minneapolis and other community partners such as Sabathani.
Now, for people that are unfamiliar, the City of Minneapolis Community Safety Initiative aims to create a new transformative public safety system through expanded response services, violence prevention, and police reform, integrating various safety resources under one roof with the goal of fostering safe and thriving communities for everyone. Key components really include Southside Community Safety Center, the Community Safety Ambassador Program, and other initiatives that lend community support to police reform and police policy reform. I think that's really important for people to understand, because during the time of the uprising, there were so many questions about what the police and community involvement would look like going forward, because tensions were so high for such a long time. And truthfully, if anybody knows anything about the landscape of our state, things have been bubbling for a while. So it seems like now they're starting to listen to the residents and find different ways to offer these kind of partnerships. What has the experience been like so far?
So it's been a hand-in-hand partnership. Obviously, there's things that violence interrupters can't do that police can, and then there's things that police maybe are trying to do but aren't getting the results they would like that a violence interrupter can do, mainly because the violence interrupters are constantly in that community, whether they live there or have lived there or have some kind of connection. And so it's a joint effort between both parties, knowing that that it kind of, in a way, the community needs each other. There is some necessary need for policing, but then there also is not as much strong policing needed within our community. So the city of Minneapolis has recognized that we need these folks in the community who are violence interrupters from the community that are able to connect with individuals who may have a record, who may be scared of dealing with the police. So
I think that's really important for the younger generation, to start seeing people that maybe don't look like traditional police coming and talking to them about things that are going on in the community, or even just intervening on their behalf before the police are called to try and de-escalate things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important. What are some of the things that you guys are seeing day to day as you guys are doing this work? Because we know every day there's not something taking place that I guess you would say would maybe seem newsworthy.
Right. So we outside of the newsworthy incidents that are occurring, a large thing within our community, or at least the South Minneapolis, is the encampments. A lot of those individuals are disconnected from their families and services and housing opportunities that my staff is able to go out in the community maybe once or twice a week. We have food from the food shelf at Sabathani Center that we bring out, hand out, and provide resources, pub ed, just pamphlets or information stating what resources are provided at Sabathani Community City as well as within the community that we are interested in.
I think that's so important for people to understand that not only this program, but Sabathani as a whole is providing wraparound services for the community. Public education, as you mentioned, but also addressing the issue of food insecurity for people, which I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not myself when I'm hungry.
Right.
So I'm sure people that are not able to get to good meals or whole foods, not the store, but eating whole meals daily, are probably not feeling their best and may be experiencing some things beyond their control or acting in a way that may be deemed as unbecoming or problematic to a community.
Oh, definitely.
Now, can you talk to me about ways you guys are kind of navigating the landscape of mental health, which is very present in our communities across this country?
So we've partnered with Kente Circle to provide mental health resources for the individuals within the community as well as my staff as well, because we do see a lot of things that's going on, but also, hurt people. So we have to take care of ourselves. But also we're partnering with Kente Circle to ensure that if we have somebody on the street who needs some type of mental health services, we're able to bring them within and get the help that they need. And then as well as my staff, I have several trainings that I've put them through NAMI.
I think that's so important that we are equipping people, whether it's mandated or not, to really understand the landscape of mental health and to try and provide that support before police are called. I think community members know that we sometimes have people in our community that are experiencing these difficulties and we treat them a certain way, but because they have no touchstone or maybe they've had a negative one with the police, where you guys are now able to lend yourselves to these situations and provide a smoother transition where it doesn't have to escalate in any way.
That's right.
Now, the Violence Interruption program uses a public health approach, which we talked about a little bit with mental health, food insecurity, all these different things that you guys are doing at Sabathani as a whole. And what led to this kind of tactic to assist in you guys navigating how you all treat the community and how you all are doing your work daily? Oh,
definitely. Well, we understand that violence is a disease. And so just like any other disease, you have to attack it and prevent it, make sure that you're doing everything that you can. And so that's what we do. We're in the community daily, building relations with any and everyone within the community, mentoring if need be, providing resources and anything that they need, even if it's just a smile or a high five. But make sure we're doing that preventative work. And then when something happens, there's intervention where we intervene on the spot. If there is something, my staff is trained to see when an incident is about to occur. So then we'll step in and make sure that we're trying to prevent the incident. And then afterwards, restorative. So if an incident happens, whether we are there or not, but as long as we're on the scene within about 72 hours and be able to identify who the victims are or the perpetrators, we're trying to work with them to make sure that they receive services because, like I said, it's a disease that is contagious. If something happens to you and I see it, that affects me. There's a lot of trauma behind that, as well as I might be frustrated with what happened and go and do something to someone else. So we have to make sure that we stop it where it's at and then continue to build on it.
Now, you recently just referenced your team. How many of them are you guys currently?
So currently we have 7 of 9 staff on board. There is myself, the program manager, a site supervisor, and then we have 2 outreach workers and 4 violence interrupters. Those are the positions that are total, but there is 7 of 9.
Okay, that's really important because I don't know if people are going to watch this and want to become a part of this, but you need to know what you're getting into and what the positions actually look like. So I'm grateful that you gave us that breakdown. But I also wanted to make sure that we gave them their recognition. You are here as representing the whole team, but yes. I know that there are many hands and feet that are lending themselves to this initiative.
Definitely.
Now, you talked to us about the size of your team, but what does it look like to do this work day to day? Are you guys inside of Sabathani, or are you guys actually out there walking around in the community?
So majority of our work is in the community. My staff gets in Monday or Tuesday through Thursday from 2 to 10 p.m. is a shift. And then Friday and Saturday is 4 to midnight. When they first get in, they have a briefing. So that's pretty much learning about what incidents may have occurred overnight or during the day, which areas we should go check out, which hotspots we could check out, individuals we need to speak with and check in with. And then after that, my staff goes out in the community. They hit the hot spots typically first, or where incidents may have occurred, try and find out information and connecting with the community to whether it's prevent retaliations or just making sure the individuals are receiving services that they may need. From there, at the end of the day, they come back and then they have a debriefing to kind of have a woosah moment with each other, as well as stating what they saw, what to look out for next.
I think that's important to have that time of debrief to kind of not only keep you guys together and updated on what's taking place, but give you guys a chance to kind of decompress from whatever trauma you all have experienced.
Exactly.
While trying to intervene on the public's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's really exciting that kids are able to be outside and to see you all, and to know that there's another layer of adults having eyes on whatever's going on in the community. We often hear people say we're in the decade of iPad children, and kids aren't going outside anymore. And I think this is another opportunity to reinforce that they can go outside and that there are other people watching and really being the village, as so many of us encountered when we were growing up.
Exactly.
Now, what has the community response been to the work of Sabathani's violence interruption program?
It's been great. I'll tell you that there was a couple months ago, I went out with my staff and we were just walking down 38th Street, and there's a guy, I'm looking, and he's in his car, he's just kind of staring at us, and he's looking, and he puts down his window, he goes, "I don't know what you guys are doing, but it looks positive." But that's pretty much, a lot of what we're getting from community partners that we're connected with, like local stores, schools as well, where they are appreciative that we're out there consistently. They can see us, we're smiling, we're greeting them, and they love it. And they also, I've had several folks ask, like, "Hey, can we walk along with you guys?" So it's been great.
I think that's a really good way to not only say that we're willing to lend ourselves to the community, but really showing up. And they don't necessarily have to be able to identify like that gentleman you just referred to. I don't know what you're doing, but it seems to be positive, and it seems to be changing the landscape of South Minneapolis right now.
Definitely.
The framework that you guys are using is a very powerful one: culturally responsive, trauma-informed. This is a part of the global program about violence that is taking place all over our country. What are some of the key parts of this that you feel have been the most beneficial that you see in real time?
Oh, definitely. I would say, with Sabathani being in the South Minneapolis area for so long, we've seen, it's a Black institution, mm-hmm. but we provide resources to everyone in the community. And so I believe the key is to having people who look like the community on board. And so having people who look like community and then also being from that community, that makes a big difference, just because I have staff who, I say their name on one block, and everybody's like, oh yes, I know who that is. I have respect for them and love, and they will do anything just to make sure they're in good standings, in a positive manner, but in good standings just because they have that connection. And so we have individuals with all types of backgrounds. Anyone can do this work as long as you want to and you have the right tools to do it. But as long as you're from the neighborhood, and diverse backgrounds help, and just understanding that we're all moving in one positive step.
Now, you spoke about diverse backgrounds, and South Minneapolis has such a large East African population. Currently, are you guys working with anyone in partnership there to kind of expand your reach to support the East African population, disseminating information in Amharic or maybe some other languages so that they're kind of able to understand what's going on and maybe lend themselves to kind of tackle the violence all throughout the community? Oh
yeah, so we, as of late, we have been providing resources in different languages. I can't say for sure there's been more East African languages that we've been handing out, but when we do hand out information, we will take information from all community resources and make sure that we're handing out to anyone in the public that, whether they're East African or Hispanic.
Okay. Hopefully somebody watching this that may be a linguist or that wants to lend themselves in a community effort to support this will help translate some of these documents so that they are able to further their reach amongst the community. Now, you said that you guys have a partnership with the city of Minneapolis and that you all usually are there before the Minneapolis Police Department. What has been that relationship like? Because I'm sure there's been opportunities where you all are on the same spaces trying to navigate what's going on. Oh, yeah. What has that been like?
It's been positive. The Minneapolis police, they understand the work that we do in the community as violence interrupters. They understand that we're constantly there, and that the work we do is essential. While on the other hand, we understand as well that the work they do is essential, so they have to do the investigation and everything. And the wonderful part about it is that when the police are in the community doing their investigation, they are comfortable with letting the violence interrupters, do our work while in the community, because if there's an incident that happens, a lot of the people in the community are coming out to see what happens. A lot of times the police are just doing their work and may not provide information to just anyone, but they will communicate with the violence interrupters, and we can disseminate that to the community and also help identify who may have been a victim, target, or who may have been, part of what happened. So it's been great working with them in that aspect.
I think that's really important for people to understand that it is a further partnership than the city. The arm of this whole thing only works efficiently if everybody is doing their part. So it's nice to hear that the Minneapolis Police Department are understanding of you guys' work and are able to work in tandem with one another in these types of situations. Now, I'm sure somebody is going to watch this and say, I think that's really important, but I am not able to lend myself in this way or that, but I do want to support. What does that look like for people that are watching this, Nigel?
Oh, that's easy. Engaging with us, we actually we host community events about once a month. So when we're handing those out or looking on Sabathani's website, feel free to sign up to attend or volunteer, sharing with the community that violence is a disease and it's something that we need to get rid of. We need to cure it.
Now, for people that are interested in connecting with you all, please provide us with your social media handles, the web address, and the physical address of the building, and the phone number for them to reach out.
So the phone number to reach out is 612-821-2312. And then the address is 310 East 38th Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55409. Sabathani.org is the website that you can find us on. And we are on Instagram and X, I believe.
Okay.
There may be more, but that's for sure.
And what are the handles for Instagram and X?
I believe it's just Sabathani Community Center.
Okay, wonderful. Nigel, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing with our viewers the work you guys are doing over at Sabathani. I wish you all the best, and it is really exciting to know that things are headed in a wonderful direction to improve for generations to come.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for this episode of Community Connections. As always, I am excited to connect with you and hear your stories that are inspiring, informative, and/or educational. This is airing on OROMIA11, and I am your host, Anna Orr. I look forward to connecting again with you soon.
Magaalaa bareedduu Minneapolis keessa jiraattanii yookiin gara magaalaa bareedduu tanaa dhufuudhaaf karoora qabdanii as dhuftanii dhimmoota akka rooba cabbii hamaa, haala qilleensa hamaa, rakkoo nageenya hawaasaa, bu'uraalee misoomaa gurguddaa fi dhiibbaa qophiilee adda addaa magaalaa Minneapolis ilaalchisee odeeffannoowwan argachuudhaaf rakkattanii jirtanii eeyyeen yoo rakkattanii jirtaniif furmaata harkaa isinii qabna. Aappii Smart 911 fayyadamuudhaan odeeffannoo kanneen argachuu ni dandeettan. Karaa aappii kanaatiin ergaa SMS, iimeelii, bilbila yookiin akeekkachiisa balaa tasaa bilbila kanarratti ergamu argachuu dandeettu. Akeekkachiifni ifaa fi bilisaa kun immoo bilbila naannoo keessanii irratti isiniif ergama. Maarree rakkoo kana jalaa bahuudhaaf homaa osoo hin turin hardhuma gama minneapolismn.gov/alert deemuudhaan galmaaha.